Hello, dear colleagues. 1 minute before the start of our greatest event of this summer, back to school, day one, and please find the chat box and in any convenient for you way, put pluses or yes or hello or whatever, so that we are sure that you see us and you hear us and you are able to interact with us via chat box. Hello, hello, Pani Maria. Hello, hello. Everything is okay with both sound and picture.
Hopefully, for
Yeah.
everybody.
We're ready to start. It's 2 p.m. in Kiev, where I am based. Before we actually start our day one conference, I would like to make very few important announcements. The first one is that this conference is being recorded and each and every of you will receive the link to the recording within a week. It will not happen today, but don't worry, you will receive them. And also you will receive your certificate of attendance again within a week. And if you didn't receive it by Friday, please check your spam box. I will show you how in Gmail the letter with the certificate must look like. You will receive this letter. Ви отримали сертифікат від Macmillan. And in the letter, you will see this red button, отримати сертифікат, and the number of the certificate is in the letter. So you copy it and paste into the certificate. And coming to our topic, today is day one, pre-primary day. And with great pleasure, I am giving the floor to Anna, who is an expert in teaching young learners, very young learners, and she is the person who adores this thing. So Anna, I'm stopping sharing my screen and the audience is yours.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I am sharing my presentation now. I hope it works. Yeah, make a noise if you can see it. Hopefully you do. Okay. Okay, hi, I'm Anna and I'm a teacher. So just like you, little by little, I'm trying to change the world for the better every day, one student at a time. My expertise is in English linguistics. Obviously, English is a foreign language, but I also hold an MA and BA in early years education and educational therapy. So I am trying to sort of combine my love for teaching children, little children, with teaching with teaching English itself. So I really hope it works. So today I would like to share with you some of my favorite activities that sort of form my lesson with very young learners. Now, by very young learners, we are looking at children aged, well, me personally, I teach children starting age 3, maybe 2.5, if they are quite mature, up till around 6. And today we are looking at the further part of this continuum. So we are looking at children 5-ish, 6-ish, okay? And we call them very young learners. So we are going to have a look at some very practical activities, games and ideas that do not require a lot of preparation and zero materials, because these are the ones that I like best. And we are going to have a look how they work in a reception class, so with a young, very young learners. And I hope you'll like some of them, and maybe some of them you'll try out in your classrooms. So first, let's have a look at what we can expect from a child at the age of 5-ish, 6-ish, starting the reception class, okay? So in terms of cognitive development, the child at this age should be able to identify time relationships. So they should understand that there is morning and afternoon, and some time is before and some time is after now. And it is helpful when we are teaching, for example, the parts of the day, okay, or when we eat different food, different meals. This is also something they should grasp, because this is something that develops at that time. They can also classify colors by intensity, okay, which comes in handy when you are using activities like color dictation, right? So you're giving the students pictures to color, and then you're dictating the colors. So you can try using different shades, right? You can say, instead of green, you can use light green or dark green, and they should be able to do that as well. They classify foods, so they shouldn't have problems with activities like put all vegetables and all fruit into different boxes. They identify shapes, so using circles, like circle something, should be an easy thing for them. They should be able to arrange objects by size, which for us as English teachers is important, because they understand that something is small, something is big. They also understand that something is bigger. Okay, so we can also add some of the language here when we see that the children are responsive. They can order numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, it doesn't mean that they can count, right? Because this is like a common misconception. It's not like they know that 2 plus 2 equal 4. I mean, some do, but generally, statistically, they don't have to know that, okay? They order numbers. So, for example, when you are using a dice and it shows 4 dots, it's okay for them to count the dots and say, okay, it's 4, okay? They make sets, so we can use activities like put those flashcards in categories, okay? Category food, category clothes, category body parts, or whatever. This they should be able to do. They can also sequence events, which is important for us because many of our activities include putting a story in the right order, for example. This is something that should be able to do at the age of between 5 and 6. This is the ability that develops then. And they rehearse for storage. Okay, now this is important because if you teach very young learners, you will know that they have very flexible speaking apparatus, which means that when you teach something, they have beautiful pronunciation, for example. So the children that I teach, the best ones who can say yellow with a beautiful diphthong there, are the ones who are the youngest, because of the flexibility of the apparatus. And they can learn very quickly, but then they forget even quicker, right? So if you're teaching something on Friday and then you meet them on Monday, it happens like looking at you like, who are you? What are you doing here? Yeah, because they tend to forget very quickly because they rehearse for storage. Okay, so it means that they have to repeat a lot of times the same thing in order to remember. Okay, but this repetition cannot happen like today I'm going to repeat 500 times the word, so I'm going to remember it forever. It has to be spaced repetition, okay? So today they repeat something, and then you come back to it tomorrow, and then you come back to it in a week, in a month, okay? But they need to be reminded, because otherwise their memory is not that well structured yet, and they will forget, okay? So don't get frustrated. This is nothing personal, okay? You're great. It's just that in terms of maturity, their memory is not working that well yet. So they will keep forgetting, and we have to keep reminding them, okay? Keep revising. Okay. In terms of motor development, what a child should be able to do is bounce, catch, and throw a small ball. Okay. Now it's important because sometimes we are using in the classroom different prompts, and sometimes we want them to catch a ball. Okay. And yes, this is like a moment that I would like to pause for a second, because a big ball is something that a child at the age of 4 should be able to catch. Okay. And then children develop in terms of motor skills, and they should be able to catch smaller and smaller balls. But it depends. It depends on the pace of their development, and it also depends individually on the students, and it depends on the practice. Okay, so if you are practicing a lot with throwing the ball, the children will get better at that. And this is a skill, a general skill, general development skill that we can also help with. in our classes, okay? Just like a byproduct of teaching English, we are also using a little bit of movement, and catching a ball is a milestone, is a very important ability in human life, okay? So they should be able to catch a ball. Same goes for skipping. We'll get to skipping in a second. Skips rope, okay? A child at the age of 6 should be able to skip rope, okay? Now, this is not something that children do nowadays a lot, okay? When I was a child, we were doing rope skipping a lot, okay? It might be also culture dependent, because when you look at the American films, they would do the rope skipping, like the big, long rope skipping a lot that we don't do, for example, in Poland. But skipping rope is a skill, and it's a milestone. So when a child is 6, they should be able to skip rope. If the child is not able to skip rope, then it's a signal, okay? It's a signal that maybe their motor skills are not developing the right way. Of course, to be able to skip rope, you need to have a chance to skip rope, okay? So if you've got children who have never ever in their lives skipped rope, there's a high risk that they can't do that, okay? But if they try and they practice and they still can't, then after the age of 6, it should be like a signal to check something, okay? So we would think that skipping rope is something that we can use in the classroom, okay? Skipping rope has got a lot of nursery rhymes to it, okay? Because this is like a very British, very American thing. You can Google it up and you will see what children can sing while skipping rope, okay? Maybe not for very young learners, but if you teach young learners, so those starting 7 to 9-ish, then you might use skipping rope nursery rhymes, because they're fun and they are very natural English learning context. Okay, they should hop on one foot. So if you want the students to use a little bit of TPR, for example, and you want them to do activities, hopping on one foot should be possible, and it also does develop the skill, okay? So again, we can contribute to the students' general development by using activity like that somewhere in our lesson here and there, okay? A child should be able to cut and paste, which is also important when you are doing work at the tables and the course book has got some cutting, some pasting. When children are smaller, so even smaller than 5, then their cutting skills are not perfect. So typically the course books have push-outs rather than cut-outs, okay? But as the children get older, we should develop and we should promote and support the ability to cut, because this is a very important ability. It's a fine motor skill ability. So we again can use this activity to develop their general skill of cutting, and it also makes learning a language more attractive to the children when they can cut something and paste something or stick something. Dresses and undresses independently when you're teaching clothes. This is something you would like to see in children. Obviously, the children will have differing skills of dressing and undressing, okay? Some will do it very fast, some will do it a little bit slower, but this is something we can use in our lesson where we are teaching clothes, for example, especially when you're putting on, taking off a jacket or a sweater. This is the ability that the students should have and should be able to do, okay? Holds and manipulates pencils, crayons, and paintbrushes. Paintbrushes are the most difficult ones, okay? Because you need to do it very finely. You need to have fine motor skills to do that well, okay? But at the age of 5, 6, they should be able to do that well, okay? So when you are doing color dictation, or if you want them to color something, to paint something, it should be done well, okay? So it's the time is over when you have problems with children being able to draw something. At the age of 5, 6, it should look more or less as the object that they are trying to copy, okay? And they should be also able to work a 12-piece puzzle. 12 piece is not much. There are children, I know children at the age of 6 who can do 500-piece puzzles. But, you know, statistically, they don't have to. Statistically, 12-piece puzzle is something that is a threshold, and it should be achieved by children at the age of 5, 6. Yeah, and so this is also an activity that we can use as teachers with English when you've got puzzles, and you can show the students a picture that has different animals, for example, on it, and we are practicing the animals in English, or clothes, or whatever other elements of the picture. And also practice doing puzzles, which develops motor development and cognitive development at the same time. Okay, and the last one is social development, the most difficult one at this age, because the students do not have much experience in social interactions with peers, especially if they did not attend nursery school and this is like the first year of being in the reception class. Also, if they had experienced periods of not going to school at all, then they might have problems with the social development, and social maturity is also something that is not coming easy to us as people. But at the age of 5, 6, they should be able to follow directions, okay? And this is something that we should demand. And this is something that is reasonable to demand at this age, because this is something they should be doing, okay? So if they decide not to follow directions, they might do it intentionally, okay? A child at the age of 5, 6 engages in cooperative play. This is important because before that, we have parallel play. So children are playing alongside, okay? They do not interact. At the age of 5, 6, they should cooperate, okay? Which is important because we are using a lot of cooperative games and a lot of interaction because it's English and English is a language. Languages tend to be interactive. So the cooperative play is something that can be used in our classes. Children should be able to listen to peers, not always and not for a very long time, but they should understand that when someone's talking, you should be listening, okay? Well, we could stop here as well for a second because it's not only about the youngest learners, but about all learners until adults. You will listen if there's a point to it, okay? If there is a reason to listen. It's very important that when we as teachers give the students a task and we expect the students to listen to each other, the students who are listening need to have a task. There needs to be a task because they are not going to just listen for the listening's sake. People don't do that, okay, regardless the age. So remember, when you're asking them to listen to each other, give them a task, okay? So like, listen to your friends and note down questions you want to ask, or listen to your friend and see whether they are correct or not, okay, or whether they're telling the truth or not, whatever, but they need to listen to each other. Okay, can sustain a longer attention span. All right, I forgot to tell you that this presentation is slightly interactive. If you want to interact with me, we can have a little bit of interaction alongside the presentation. And here I've got a question, a theoretical question, or a very practical one, depends on how you look at it. Wortham says that children at the age of reception class entry, so around 5, 6, can sustain a longer attention span. What he means is longer than before, longer than when they are 3, okay? But my question to you is, how long an attention span would you expect of a child at the age of 6? Surprise me, give me a number. How many minutes? Okay, 3 is, yeah, it's a nice guess, Katerina. 2, all right, 5, yeah, 5, 6 is quite, 10 is very optimistic. Nice one. Okay. It all depends on your experience, obviously. I mean, children are totally different. All of them are different. It's very difficult to say that to have a group, especially of young learners, because later on they are more homogeneous. When they are so young, they are very heterogeneous because their language skills are different and their maturity levels differ wildly, okay? Yes, and the Olena's answer is the one that Wortham gives. It should be between 5 and 10 minutes, depending on how mature the students are, okay? Obviously, there will be students who have 2-minute attention span. That tops it, okay? That's the most they can do. There will be children who have longer attention spans than 10 minutes, okay? Like if you play a story, for example, or if you show a movie, an attractive movie for young learners. At the age of 6, there will be learners who can sit for an hour watching a Disney film, okay, with some attention. Mind you, this type of attention is passive, right? So they're just sitting and looking at the story. They are not necessarily interacting cognitively, okay? Now, what we want in our English lessons is focus enough to cognitively interact. So they need to understand and actively show us that they understood. So it is much more difficult than just looking at the screen. That's why the attention span gets smaller. Yeah, in my experience, 5 minutes is tops, okay? Which means that after 5 minutes, the activity has to change, okay? And the change has to be dramatic, because if the change is not dramatic, they won't notice it, okay? And they will start fidgeting and causing some disciplinary problems, okay? But the correct answer would be between 5 and 10, which is quite a span, right? If you've got like a 30-minute lesson, for example. Role play in the playground. So before they are 5, they are not very good at role playing, okay? They may assume roles, but they will play like individually, okay? I'm the queen and I don't care, okay? When they are 5 or 6, they would try to create some scenarios, which is very important for us because it means that they can act out a story. They can understand the story and then act it out in English, okay? And we could expect it from children at that age, okay? They understand symbolic representation, which means that when you show them a picture of an apple, they understand it's an apple, not a picture of an apple, okay? You say, okay, what's this? It's an apple, and you mean a real apple, okay? It also helps with play, right? Because the symbolic representation becomes an object. So instead of bringing a lot of different toys into the classroom, you can bring pictures of the toys and say, okay, and this is something, and it suddenly in their heads becomes the thing, right? It's not possible before they're 5. Okay, and a very important thing, that they build self-esteem on achievement. Research says, quite recent research shows that for boys, it is true for a very long time. So boys in their teenage years also build their self-esteem on achievement. Okay, girls not so much, boys a lot, but children at this age definitely. Okay, which means for us that we need to give them a chance to succeed. Okay, so every student in the class needs to get a chance to succeed. So the activities, the challenges cannot be way over their head, but they need to see that they can actually achieve something, and it can't be very simple, okay? So like like the one where you've got 5 pictures and you match it with 5 words, for example, and children come individually to do that, and the last child comes when there is only 1 picture and 1 word. Don't do that, okay? Because there is no challenge in that, okay? And even if when the children are 5 or 6, they understand that this is too simple. Okay, so the achievement, the success doesn't give the sense of achievement. Okay, but if they can say a sentence, for example, acting out a story, a sentence in English on their own, then they will be proud of themselves. Okay, so we're trying to create spaces where the children can succeed because they build the self-esteem on this success. Okay, so what can we do with all this knowledge? Well, we can put that into the classroom, and we'll try to come up with activities that will rely on the skills that the children have, but at the same time develop those skills. Because the skills we just seen are just at their beginning of grasp, okay? So yeah, we can expect those, but not to a proficient extent, okay? We can, on the other hand, help them develop, okay? So we are going to have a look at the opening routines, how to start a lesson, how I start a lesson. Okay, I'm just going to share my ideas, okay? It's not like a Bible of whatever. These are my ideas of how I do things in my classroom. Maybe you like some of them. I chose those that always work, okay? So sometimes I experiment, sometimes those experiments are not that good, but these ones actually work every time, okay? So my opening routines, and then we are going to look at storytelling and how can we go beyond the story in the course book. And we are going to look at sing styles, because storytelling and singing are the very typical context of teaching very young learners. S is gameplay, so we are going to look at games, both physical games, classroom games, those that do not require any special equipment or special preparation, and also games that the students are very used to, like digital games. And then we are going to look at the closing routines, because whatever start has to finish. And young learners are very much dependent on routine. Okay, children like routine. If you've got your own children, you will know that when you read them a bedtime story, they will keep choosing the same one, although they already know what's happening. Okay, although they know what the events are going to be, how it's going to finish, they still want it read because they want to see something stable. Okay, something that is always true. Okay, that's why the routines with young learners work miracles. Okay, they really do wonders in the classroom. Children really like them. It's not like it's boring because we are again doing the same thing. Young learners like doing the same thing because they feel safe, they feel that they understand, and they know that what they can expect in the lesson. Okay. Okay, so starting with the ground entrance, if you've got a context in which the students come into the classroom from somewhere, like for example, you are teaching evening classes and the students are coming from a common room, or you are taking children from the cloakroom, this is my case very often, or they're changing rooms for English, yeah, and you have to move them from one room to another. So my routine is walking. Okay, so I tell the students, but anyway, you can tell the students whenever you want them to form a line. Okay, my rhyme is 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, make a line in front of me. Okay, and I make a gesture like that, and the students are jumping in front of me and they are shouting numbers. Okay, so the first one that comes just before me says 1, and the next one 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're shouting the numbers so that I don't have to count them, which is an additional perk. Okay, and so I've got a line of the students and we are going to walk down the corridor, but because walking down the corridor is also a challenge when you are 5 or 6, because everything is interesting everywhere else but not the teacher, we've got a rhyme to walk. Okay, and if you want to play, yeah, you can stand up and do that. Okay, I tried and it doesn't show well in the camera, but you are very welcome to try and do that. So we are forming a line and I'm standing in front of the students and we are all saying the rhyme. The very first time I say the rhyme and they repeat the lines after me, but I swear it takes like 3 repetitions, and on the 4th day they know what to say. Okay, we go hands up. Okay, our hands are high, our feet are low, you stomp your feet. Okay, our feet are low, so our hands are high, our feet are low, and this is how we all now go. Yeah, and we walk. And as we walk, we count the steps. Okay, so we go like in a whole chorus goes 1, 2, 3, 4. If we have to walk more than 10 steps, we start from the beginning because we only can count to 10. But if you've got a class that is quite ambitious and you can see that they can do more, feel free to teach them 11, 12, and whatever other numbers you want. Mine usually get to 10 and then we repeat 1, 2, 3 until we get to our classroom. Okay, I like this one very much and the students like it and they are always waiting for it to shout on the corridor. Okay, and then we enter the classroom. Typically, we make a circle. Okay, so I've got a rhyme for making a circle. Now, this one is mine because it's simple. Okay, so it's like a simplified version. But if you forget the melody, Super Simple Songs has this exact song for making a circle, but they have a more complicated lyrics. So again, if you've got more ambitious, higher level English students, you can try the super simple version. Mine is super simple. Okay, because mine goes like this: make a circle nice and big, nice and big, nice and big, make a circle nice and big, make a circle. Okay, and what we do, we just stand in a circle, and when we are dancing, we are moving around so that the circle gets round. Because if you are teaching very young learners, I'm sure you've got this experience that circles are very rarely round. Yeah, they are typically, they have a tendency of collapsing to the middle, okay, or making strange shapes. Okay, but when we are trying to make it very big circle, nice and big, yeah, we are trying to take as much space as possible, and then we sit down. Okay, so this is my version, very simple. But if you want a more complicated one, there are more complicated versions. Every stanza of the song is more and more complicated. It gets more complicated with each stanza. Okay. And then when we sit in the circle, we sing the hello song. Okay. And I will show you my favorite, and I'm also going to send it to Ina so she can send it to you as a file, and you can sing the hello song. Yeah, it would be great if you could sing the hello song with me. I cannot check that because I can't hear you, but I strongly encourage you to sing the hello song with me. It goes very easy. The important thing for me as a teacher is that the hello song makes sense for my classroom, okay? So we don't sing hello to the characters of the book. We don't sing hello to pretending we are the characters, because this is too much when you are 5 or 6. If you are 5 or 6, you want to say hello to your friend, okay? And this is what we're doing. So it goes hello, hello, hello. Hello, how are you? And how are you? You are asking your friend. Okay, so we are saying hello, hello to everybody in the classroom, and we are turning to one friend and saying, how are you? Okay, and then we are showing this particular friend, I'm fine, I'm great. Okay, and then everybody's turning to the teacher and asking the teacher, and how are you? Okay, and I like it because at the end, when they ask me, and how are you? I say, I'm fine, thank you, have a seat. Okay, and then we can start the lesson, all right? So this is the melody. You can sing with me, okay? I've got a lot sing along and only half an hour left. But we will do as much as we can, okay? Let's try this one.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, how are you? I'm fine, I'm great. And how are you?
The teacher says, fine, thank you. Have a seat, okay? So that everybody's happy. Okay. Other opening routines, okay? So when I'm starting my class, I've got this anticipation opening, okay? So I want to have a secret at the beginning of the lesson, okay? So with the very young learners, I tell them, okay, this is the word of today. The word of the day is here and it's hidden, okay? And it is always a word that will appear during the lesson, okay? So this word will be taken from whatever is happening in the lesson, but we don't know which one, okay? So typically we are within the range of 8, maybe 10 words, right, of a set, but we don't know which one is the hidden one. You can either write the word and just hide it behind a sheet of paper, or you can take a flashcard of this word and turn it around, and it stays there till the end of the lesson. It's just there till the end of the lesson. Stays on the wall or on the blackboard. Today we are learning school objects, okay? We are learning school objects. What do you think the school object is? What do you think school object is? It's a general question, okay? So at the beginning of the lesson, if this is like lesson 2 or lesson 3 of the unit is about school objects, you can ask at the beginning of the lesson, okay, so we've got a hidden word. What do you think the hidden word is? Okay, we were learning last week or yesterday about school objects. So which school object is hiding on our blackboard? And they can try saying the words at the same time revising what happened last lesson, okay? If this is the first lesson of the unit, I'm telling them, okay, so today we are going to learn about school subjects. So this is a new topic, so you don't know what word it could be, okay? So this is a hidden word. I am going to ask you at the end of the lesson, what word is hiding here, okay? So you can use it either as a revision at the beginning of the lesson, a revision of the previous lesson, or at the end of the current lesson to revise, to make sure that they remember the lesson, the current lesson, okay? Or another idea is to put the name of a student. Okay, now the name of a student, the student of the day, is a classroom management tool. Okay, so you write a name of a random student who is present on the day, and you cover the name. Okay, now at the end of the lesson, we are going to see which student it was. Okay, and together as a class, we are going to agree whether this student was particularly active or was particularly keen or listening or nice to other students. And if they were, they will get a reward, okay? And if they were not, no reward. Okay. Now, the important thing of this tool is that you never know whether it's not your name, so you behave. Okay. You behave well just in case, because maybe this is you, okay? And at the end of the lesson, we just uncover it and say, okay, Sandra. So let's see, was Sandra good today? Was she behaving well? Was she active? Yeah, so we are going to give her applause, okay? Or we're going to give her a sticker or whatever. Student of the day gives you like a little bit of organization in terms of management at the end of the lesson. Okay, and then we start another opening routine as a revision. Okay, so whenever we are starting a new unit, as we said, the children learn through repetition, through revision. They constantly revise for storage. So today we will be learning my favorite colors, unit 4. And before, because it's unit 4, we already had numbers, feelings, and classroom objects. Okay, so we are looking at the big picture before we even start talking about colors. And we are looking for things that we already know. Okay, so for example, I can say, I spy with my little eye happy students and one a little bit worried student. Okay, can you spy with your little eye a classroom object? Let's see. Give me a webinar chat answer. So I spy with my little eye what? Can you see a classroom object from the previous unit? A pen. I'm looking. A chair, could be. A pencil case, obviously. Well done. A paintbrush, perfect. Paints, excellent. Okay, so yeah, these were the words that we learned a unit ago. Okay, so this is like a revision of the unit ago, right? So we are starting something new, but we're looking for words. Okay, another one. This time it's unit 6. Okay, unit 6, and we are going to learn body parts in this unit, but we haven't started yet. So we need to revise whatever we had in the previous units. Okay, and in the previous units, we had numbers, feelings, classroom objects, colors, because it was unit 4. And in unit 5, we had clothes. And now we are in unit 6. And I spy with my little eye a sweater. I can also say that I spy a red sweater because I know both colors and clothes. So I can combine knowledge from 2 previous units, okay? Can you spy classroom object? A pen, What else can you spy? A rubber, excellent. Okay. Now here are a lot of classroom scissors. Yes, the new ones. Yeah, scissors are difficult. They appeared here. Okay, so now we are 2 units after classroom objects, but we still revise that because if we don't, they will forget. Okay, so this revision is important, and also it goes with this achievement, right? They build self-esteem on achievement. So we are in a different unit talking about something different, but I still remember. I still remember some other things that I learned before, okay, which means that I have actually learned some English, okay, because I still remember. Okay, another revision thing that I do with my students is the magic eyes. So, for example, if we are teaching classroom objects, but it's lesson 5, okay, it's not vocabulary introduction anymore. By the way, you can use Magic Eye for vocabulary introduction. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can also start lesson 5 with the revision of lesson 1 vocabulary. Okay, so we're doing vocabulary here. And here we've got the pictures. And I'm pretty sure by now everybody knows what Magic Eyes is. It's the alternative for something's missing. Tomorrow, if you're with me, I will tell you why something's missing is a very bad idea and Magic Eyes is an excellent idea. In Magic Eyes, everybody in chorus says the names of the objects, okay? So if you were in my classroom, I would point to each of these pictures and we will together say the word like crayon, pencil, pencil case, book, right? Rubber, backpack, pen, okay? We would do that all together. Okay, and then I would tell you, close your eyes, and I would say, okay, open. And instead of asking the very stupid and very ineffective question, what is missing? I'm pretty sure you understand why, because someone will always shout out the answer and this is the end. Okay, I am going from the very beginning. Okay, I am not asking you what is missing for the very reason that there will be one person in the classroom who will shout out the answer like that. And the rest of the class who is not worse at English, but they are just not fast enough. They just lost interest, okay, after 3 such events, okay? So we start from the beginning and we go crayon, pencil case, notebook, rubber, backpack, pencil, yeah? And then I tell you, close your eyes, and we go on, and every single time we start from the very beginning, yeah? We are not asking what's missing. We are starting with crayon, pencil case, and so on, until everything is covered, okay? And now you need to use your magic eyes, okay? And we go from the beginning. Who remembers what was at the beginning? You would remember if you said it so many times before. If you only shout out what's missing, you will not remember because you focused on just one thing. And here you will know what was missing, and then you, using your magic eyes, you can say what was that. And to finish up magic eyes, then you uncover at random the pictures, okay? So for the sake of, if you're teaching online, then you have to number those, okay? Because otherwise it won't work, okay? And starting with, I think, I don't remember, 7, I think, no, 2. Okay, starting with 2, what was missing? Pencil, okay, everybody knows, pencil. And then what was in 7? Who remembers? How about 7? How about your magic eyes? Do you all have magic eyes? Yeah, you would remember if we went one by one, okay? Was it? Hey, well done. That was Katrina. Yeah, there was a pen, okay? And we go on and we ask the questions, and what was here, what was 3, what was 6, what was 1, what was 5, okay? And the class as a whole, they say the answers. Now they remember because we said everyone line by line 8 times. Okay, so we have practiced 8 times, we practiced pronunciation 8 times, we now remember what is where because we said that so many times. So we will have the feeling of achievement when I ask you what was in number 3, and you will know because you will remember. Okay, please play magic eyes, not what's missing. Okay. Storytelling. Okay, storytelling is something that students do. This is a very, very young learners context. Okay. So here is a story, a very simple story. I'll show you the story so that we know what we're talking about.
1,
Look! A rubber! This is my rubber.
2,
A crayon. Here. This is my crayon. And this is my pen.
3,
Look, I've got a pencil case. This is my pencil case. And this is my pencil.
4,
This is my book. This is my book.
Oh, Peep, it's my book.
Yeah, okay, so this is a very simple story. This is what we do. We listen to the story to answer a very important question. What is whose? Okay, what belongs to whom? Okay, and here we've got 2 characters. We've got Maya and Jack, and some of the things are Maya's and someone's Jack's. Okay, so when the students are listening to the story, we make sure that they understand what the task is going to be. Okay, so they're going to say which of those belong to Maya and which belong to Jack. So to do that, I put flashcards on the wall and I tell them to listen, and then they are coming to the board and they are choosing the objects that belong to Maya and the objects that belong to Jack. This is the solution. Okay, we do it as a class at first, okay, just to make it clear what is expected and to make it less threatening that you are on your own and you're left alone and this is a test, okay? But then in the course book, they can do it on their own. So we listen to it again and they do it again and they check it with the board, whether they made the right choices, okay? They are little children, okay? We do not over expect of them, okay? So This is what you can do. But yes, so we are talking about Maya and Jack, but who cares? Okay, I mean, children do care because they get attached to the characters, but it's not as personal as we would like it to be. Okay, so what I do is after we do this activity, I tell them to sacrifice one classroom object, whichever they want. Okay, and I put the objects in a box or in a bag, and then I take one out, or and say, depending on how developed the class is, either I say, look, a pen, okay, or I say, I've got a pen. Sometimes when the classes are really strong, I ask students to do that for me instead of me. And so I'm showing them, look, it's a pen. And then someone from the class says it's my pen because it actually is theirs, okay? And this is very personal because if you see your pen, this is very natural to say it's yours, give it back, yeah? So this is an activity we play with storytelling, okay? Another story. I've got another story. I'll show you just a fragment because it's about associating colors to things. Okay.
1,
I've got a new backpack. What colour is it? It's green. My favourite colour is green.
2,
Look at my new notebook. It's pink. My favourite colour is pink. My favourite colour is red. Red? Not green.
Okay, and so goes on. Okay, for the lack of time, I have to cut it short and hold you in suspension. Yeah, you'll get to know the ending once you listen to the whole story. Yeah, what do we do with that? Well, because it's about colors, I play fruit salad. Fruit salad is a great activity. I like playing it with whatever set of vocabulary we have. If in this particular case it's colors, we put children in a circle on chairs, and they've got a color on a piece of paper. Okay, and first I check whether they understand what color they have, and then they say my favorite color is whatever they have. Okay, and if I say, I stand in the middle of the circle, or I ask children to do that if they are more advanced, once they are seated, I say my favorite color is red. And everyone who is holding red has to put the card up so I know that this is actually red and they understand that it's red, and they have to change places, okay? You can do it with anything. You can do it with fruit, with food, with animals, okay? So whatever they've got, you are calling it, and then they have to change places. There is one moment when you can say, if you are talking about fruit, for example, because fruit salad comes, the name, generic name like Adidas, right? Generic name for the activity comes from playing with fruit. So you give children pictures of fruit, and then you say, okay, bananas change places, okay, or strawberries change places, and then you say fruit salad, and everybody has to change places, okay? Now, if you've got colors, I say rainbow, and everybody has to change places, okay? Now, if you're playing with farm animals, I say farm, and all animals change places, okay? So you can play it with all sets of vocabulary. People often ask me whether there is one chair less, okay? So that one children has no seat. No, there are as many chairs as children, okay? It's not like that someone has to be left a loser in the middle. No, everybody change seats, and that's okay, okay? It's just for fun. It's just to see whether they understand what they're holding. It's a physical activity game, okay? Or walk on colors. So I put color paper on the floor, and the students are walking on the papers in the order that I dictate or somebody else dictates, okay? And because we are practicing the phrase, my favorite color is, then we are saying my favorite color is red, for example, and the child who is walking has to stand preferably next to, yeah, the flashcard or the color, not to destroy the flashcard or the piece of paper. And again, you can do it with all other sets of vocabulary as well. Very simple games, no preparation whatsoever, just fun. Okay, now this one is very simple again. This is a speaking activity in which the children say whose color is favorite.
What's your favourite colour?
Okay.
My favourite colour is yellow.
Yeah, and then there is an answer. What can we do with that in a classroom? Well, we can look for perfect partners, okay? So we tell the students to draw or color a piece of paper in their favorite color, not show to anyone, and just walk around the classroom and find a perfect partner, okay? Asking what's your favorite color? My favorite color is, and if you find a perfect partner, you take him along and you are looking for another one. So you are making groups of fans of a given color. Same with animals, same with food, whatever you like to do. Common picture, that's a nice one. If you are practicing colors, you can print out a coloring page from the Teachers Resource Center or just ask the students to draw a figure, okay, of a parrot in this case, I thought would be nice. And the students together in groups color the parrot in their favorite color. So if my favorite color is red, I can color the tummy red or the beak red or whatever, some part of the bird red. And then we are showing the pictures to other groups and we are saying whose favorite colors is which one. And we are also, I also make it a point and like stop my students and say, look, the most colorful pictures are when the colors are different. Okay, so when we differ from each other, the pictures are the most beautiful. Okay, so if we are all the same, the world would not be so interesting. Okay, it's most interesting because people differ. Okay, and even if your preferences of color differ, then look, the pictures are more beautiful. Okay, and singing. So if you are into singing, this is your moment of truth. This is a song in which we are going to say that we're happy because we've got something, okay? So the whole thing is I'm happy I've got, okay? And the song includes the crayon and the backpack, but it's got a beautiful rhythm, okay? If I had like more space here or we were live, I would show you, but you can feel free, stand up and do the dancing. Okay, it's a hula dancing. So that's why the picture. Okay, this is my students dancing here.
I'm happy. I've got a crayon, a crayon. I've got a crayon. I'm happy. I've got a crayon. I've got a crayon. I'm happy.
Yeah, for the last part, we are turning around. Yeah, I'm happy I've got a crayon. I love the song. Really, really. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, so this is what we are singing. And the song includes the crayon and the backpack, and that's it, okay? But because we are dance masters, we can do the same with all other elements. So I'm encouraging my students, okay, Zosia, and what is your favorite school object? Choose one, and we are going to be happy that we have it, okay? And everybody takes out like a ruler, for example, okay? And then we are singing karaoke version or a cappella, the same melody, and instead of backpack and instead of crayon, we've got a ruler. For some reason, it makes young learners ecstatic. It makes them really happy because it's theirs now. Okay, it was not in the song. It is their original, authentic element added to the song. Okay, this is like they are authors of this part of the song, and they really, really like it. So sometimes, even when I'm not there anymore, the students are singing the song and they are choosing other elements. Okay, so I saw them secretly instead of choosing school objects because they were doing. We were also. Doing farm animals, they had a fluffy toy rabbit, and I heard them singing, I've got a rabbit, I'm happy, to the song, okay? Which means that they actually got into the idea of singing it and in the phrase. Okay. Yeah, another one. We've got here a song that has lyrics. It's about clothes, okay? Now, it's great that it has lyrics, but we are working with children that are 5 or 6-ish. They can't read. It won't help them, okay? So it's not like you flash the lyrics and we are going to have fun and we are going to sing. We're not. Instead, what we can do is give them prompts, okay? So we've got the picture in the course book and we've got flashcards on the wall, and we know that Jack is going to sing about his sweater and trousers, and Maya about her skirt and her shoes, and we can also stop the melody, the song, when the color comes. Okay, I will show you just a minute.
What color is your jumper? What color is your jumper?
What color? Brown. Brown.
Color is your jumper? What color is your jumper? Brown, brown. My jumper is brown. What color is your skirt?
What color? What color is your skirt? What they have to do is to understand what a skirt is. Yeah, skirt is purple. So she sings purple, purple. My skirt is purple. Okay? And yeah, and so the song goes with the trousers and also with the shoes. Okay, and that's it. But again, we can play the karaoke version and we can put Catherine or Olga or whatever in front and say, okay, look at Olga. Olga, sing something. Okay, we are going to sing about Olga's t-shirt. What color is her t-shirt? Yeah, and then everybody sings. And again, I promise you, they love it because it's about them. The song is about them. It's not about some characters from the book. It's about their friend that is standing in front of them, and that's what they like. So try to make it personal whenever you can. Okay, yeah, and the games. We can play the games with the objects or the games that are digital. The games with the objects work great when you can play with cards, for example. So when the course book has got mini flashcards, they're perfect, and these are great because you can color them. So everybody will have a book, but different color. And so when you've got those tiny cards, you can play bingo, for example. So you can make a grid and the teacher and tell the students, okay, put 6 of these objects on your grid. And then the teacher says the names of the objects and the students are putting the cards upside down. And if they've got all of them done, then it's bingo, okay? Or in a line or however you're playing. Similarities and differences. So you are taking one set, you're taking one card from one set, the other card from the other set, and you say, okay, so my pencil is blue and your pencil is red. Okay, so it's a difference, right? Or my pencil is red and your pencil is red, they're similar. You can play memory game. You can play a secret memory game. Yeah, you know, right? So in memory game, in order to make it a language, when they've got a pair, they have to say what it is. Yeah, and then they can collect it. If they can't say it, they can't collect it, it goes to the other person. All right? Secret order. So one student puts his pictures in some order and the other student asks what's the first one, what's the second one, and tries to put his cards in the same order, and then they check. Okay, and a game of can I have, right? So the students are taking their cards, mini flashcards, like 5 of them, for example, and they're playing preferably in groups of 3, but in 2s will also work. In groups of 3, and I'm asking, can I have a pencil, please? And if you have a pencil, you have to give it to me. And if I get it and have my own pencil, it's a pair, and yeah, I've got 1 point. Okay, and I keep asking. But if you don't have it, if I ask you, have you got a pen? And in your 5 cards, you did not decide to take a pen, you have to say, no, sorry, I haven't. And so my turn is lost. Okay, I don't get a point, and so on. Yeah, and yeah, this is an example of a game in which you are looking at monsters, okay? And when it's a memory game, if you find a pair, you have to say something about the pair. So in this particular case, they are saying an element of the picture, like 6, okay? They've got 6 legs, okay? My monster has got 6 legs. Also, if you're talking about numbers, all the board games, you can play it with the dice. This is a board game idea. You can play with the dice, but you can also have a digital dice if you don't have one, or as many as the students are in the classroom. I don't typically have that many, so I very often use the online dice. I like it because it's not only like one type of dice. There are very many different types of dices you can imagine, or different types. For example, there can be a wheel, okay, instead of a dice, so you spin the wheel. I like the spin the wheel because you can manipulate the number of dots, right? So in the regular dice, you have 6, okay? But if you don't want so many, you can make 3, okay? So the only option is 1, 2, or 3. So the game will last longer, okay? That's why I like it. Yeah, so for example, an example of a game with a dice would be this one. So you're throwing a dice, and whichever number comes, you have to say what's in the suitcase. Okay, so if you rolled 4, you have to say it's 1 shirt. Okay, and if it's your card, it's also with color, right? So you can say it's a red shirt. It's 1 red shirt. Okay, you can play like that. With the monsters, you can play with the number of different elements of the body. Yeah, we will say here, for example, we like it a lot. You tell the students, okay, we are going to draw a monster, okay? And you can roll the dice and it will tell you how many legs, and the students draw how many legs, okay? And you roll the dice, how many eyes, okay? And then they draw that many eyes, okay? Typically they like it. It's really fun to look at the gallery of monsters then. Obviously, you can also play digital games, okay? Preferably games that are specifically for the unit, okay? So if you've got the Navio app, students can have it on a phone, on the tablet, on their computer, whatever, and they can play it on their way home, for example, when they're driving for a long way, or at home, just to revise the vocabulary. There are a lot of games that they can play, and they are like in a game like in a platform game like context. Okay, so they are walking with their avatar along the streets, and they're jumping on different levels, on different chapters, on different lessons, and they get the games and based on the vocabulary or grammar or speaking, listening, whatever that were covered during the lessons, okay, which is typically fun for the students, okay. And the closing routine, obviously, the closing routine needs to be there because the lesson starts and the lesson finishes, yeah. So the word of the day, okay, so you're coming back to the word of the day, and if today's topic was classroom objects, okay, you're asking the students, okay, so we have had this classroom object hanging here throughout the whole lesson, okay, who wants to guess what it is? Okay, if it was the first lesson, then you're asking at the end of the lesson. If it was a 5th lesson, for example, you asked for guesses at the beginning of the lesson, and at the end of the lesson say, okay, let's see who was right. Okay, can you remind me what you said? Okay, what you thought it would be? Okay, I don't remember whether you said what it would be, okay, but we don't have so much time, so I'll just show you. But normally I would ask you as my class to guess, what classroom object do you think is hidden here, okay, behind here, okay, and it would be a pencil, okay, somebody would guess, because there are not that many, okay, and they would be happy that it's a pencil case. Yes, that was a good choice. You can finish with reflection, like today I can say, what can you say today that you couldn't say yesterday? Okay, today I can say my favorite color is blue. I couldn't say it yesterday. Okay, or it's a red shirt. I could say red, I could say shirt, but I couldn't sort of put it in one sentence, and today I can. Okay, you can play Magic Eyes game again, like a revision of the whole lesson. Vocabulary wise, you can play follow the leader game. Okay, so the leader says something and you have to do it. Okay, like the leader says, put your hands up, okay, and everybody puts their hands up. Although the leader can't, because if the leader puts their hands up, that makes no sense, because everybody will just mimic the gesture, okay. So the leader only says and the rest of the group does, okay, and that's how we can, just relax by the end of the lesson. And we can say the goodbye song, which we are going to sing. I'm going to show my favorite goodbye song. Again, I'm going to leave the file, the audio file for you, so that you can sing it too. Now this one I really like because it's actually an action song. Okay, so it goes goodbye, 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 and see you soon. We are just waving to each other, like to everybody in the class, because we like each other, we are a team. And then we go turn around, everybody turns around and wave goodbye. Okay, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And that's it. Okay, this is how we go. So this is the melody, and if you're willing, you can obviously go and give it a go.
Goodbye, 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 and see you soon. Turn around, wave goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
At the end of the lesson, the teacher says goodbye, everyone, and they leave. Okay, so here is the closing of the lesson. After we've done the beginning. Okay, thank you so much.
Anya, that was really incredible. I saw Academy Star Starter in a completely different light. Before we say wave goodbye to you, a very important announcement. I hope that everybody who is here now, you heard this air raid alarm in a number of regions, so please make sure you are in the safe place and do what you need to do in the case of air alarm. But anyway, everything you shared today with our teachers, with our participants was absolutely practical. Take and do it today, tomorrow, every day. I would like to remind the participants that you will receive, together with the video recording and together with the certificate, you will receive these two gifts. Beautiful gifts, I would say, hello and goodbye song. It will take time for us to arrange everything. Within a week, you will receive everything. Anya, huge thanks. For
Thank you so
those
much.
of you who are teaching primary school learners, we will meet with Anna tomorrow. With those who are teaching only preschoolers, we're going to continue right now with me. Anya, many thanks, really.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being with me here. And Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава. Okay, Anya will stop sharing. Thank you again. And I'm going to share my screen. I hope you see my screen now. Я перейду на українську мову, і друга частина нашого першого дня конференції буде міксом української і англійської, бо ми будемо говорити з вами про розвиток, всебічний розвиток наших дітей, наших вихованців, з якими ми працюємо. І у мене спочатку для вас a $1 million question. Is it fantasy or reality to think that we can teach preschool children both effectively and successfully? Please, in the chat box, type fantasy or reality. Reality. Я щаслива від ваших відповідей, і я зараз з вами на одній хвилі, але низку років тому, коли я тільки занурювалася у навчання дошкільнят, для мене це була фантастика. І взагалі, якщо запитати, наприклад, вчителя, який працює виключно, наприклад, з підлітками або виключно з дорослими, це дійсно вважається фантастикою, хоча ось я дуже дякую пані Оксані за її коментар reality, because they are really talented. І це правда, але є одне але. Коли ми говоримо про навчання дошкільнят, ми дуже часто не помічаємо this elephant in the classroom, а саме вік. Про вікові особливості Аня досить багато і досить ґрунтовно нам проговорила, бо є певні обмеження в нашій роботі саме через вік тих, кого ми навчаємо англійською мовою. Тому спочатку погані новини. Численні дослідження довели, що якщо починати вивчати іноземну мову пізніше, тобто не в 4 роки, не в 5 років, а трошки пізніше, коли діти вже йдуть до школи, у тих дітей, кому 7-8 років, вони краще схоплюють граматичні структури, вони набагато краще розуміють і запам'ятовують різні поняття, конкретні, звісно, але все ж таки поняття і певні факти. У них вже кращі, на відміну від дошкільнят, розвинуті навички навчання, стратегії навчання, і вони краще розмовляють. Це була погана новина. Але є гарні новини, і ці новини, вони якраз про те, що ви написали, це дійсно реальність, і діти дійсно талановиті, і не треба їхні можливості і вміння недооцінювати. Ми дійсно можемо навчати навіть 3-річних дітей англійської мови, але за правильних умов. Якщо ми створюємо правильні умови, тоді ми абсолютно успішно можемо навчати і 5-річних діток, і 4-річних діток, і навіть 3-річних діток. І ці правильні умови напряму пов'язані з темою, про яку ми будемо зараз говорити, всебічний розвиток дитини, whole child development. Що ж це таке? Що це за підхід? Це підхід, яким керується більшість тих, хто працює з дітьми дошкільного віку. Це про те, що ми не просто навчаємо мові, іноземній мові, а ми розвиваємо різні аспекти дитини. Що ж це за аспекти? Соціальні, емоційні, фізичні, психологічні, творчі, пізнавальні і, звісно, мова. Куди ж без мови, бо ми вчителі англійської мови. Давайте подивимося на зразок пісні і поміркуємо про те, як абсолютно проста пісня допомагає всебічному розвиткові дитини. Мені здається, я не поділилася звуком. I'm terribly sorry. Once again. Так, я дійсно це зробила, я не поділилася, а зараз я поділилася. Все, будемо зараз слухати пісню. Нагадаю, ми слухаємо цю пісню і потім будемо розмірковувати, як ця дуже проста пісня допомагає, сприяє всебічному розвитку дитини.
Five little ducks go swimming one day over the pond and far away. Mummy duck says quack, 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 but only 4 little ducks come back. 4 little ducks go swimming one day over the pond and far away. Mummy duck says quack, 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 but only 3 little ducks come back. 3 little ducks go swimming one day over the pond and far away. Mummy duck says quack, 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 but only 2 little ducks come back. 2 little ducks go swimming one day over the pond and far away. Mummy duck says quack, 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 but only 1 little duck comes back. 1 little duck goes swimming one day over the pond and far away. Mummy duck says quack, 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 and 5 little ducks come swimming back.
Ось така дуже-дуже проста пісня. І давайте тепер поміркуємо про те, як ця проста пісня всебічно розвиває кожну дитину. Нагадаю, соціальний аспект розвитку дитини. Оскільки ця пісня передбачає певні рухи, то співаємо ми всі разом, діти доєднуються і координують свої дії з іншими таким чином, щоб так чи інакше, але копіювати те, що вони бачать, наприклад, у цьому відео. Емоційний. Емоційний пов'язаний з тим, що діти люблять співати, і вони отримують задоволення від того, що вони могли доєднатися і заспівати цю пісню. Психологічний аспект. Діти відчувають певні емоції, що куплет за куплетом одне каченя губилося, але потім вони щасливі, тому що в кінці пісні все закінчилося добре, і всі каченята знову припливли туди, коли мали приплисти. Фізичний аспект розвитку дитини. діти виконують певні рухи у ритм, у такт з музикою. Пізнавальний аспект, когнітивний аспект, вони поєднують в своїй голові кількість від 1 до 5 з ось тими каченятами. Тобто ось ці 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, вони не припиняють бути абсолютно абстрактними, не пов'язані з чимось цифрами, а вони пов'язані ось з тими каченятами, які губляться, а потім знаходяться. Ну і нарешті, не нарешті, передостанній аспект, творчий аспект. Ніхто не забороняє креативно підійти до acting out this song, і якщо це відбувається, тоді ми допомагаємо ще й креативному творчому розвитку дитини. А з точки зору мови ми вчимо і практикуємо числа від 1 до 5. Отже, ми можемо побачити, що якби ми розглядали цю пісню просто як мовну вправу, де ми вчимо цифри, ми би втратили дуже багато чого з точки зору всебічного розвитку дитини. Як ми, як вчителі англійської мови, можемо розвивати дитину з різних боків, з усіх цих аспектів? Через наші щоденну взаємодію, через пісні та історії, через ігри і через проєктні роботи, як би зараз, в даний момент, це лячно для вас не звучало. Я обов'язково покажу, що діти 5-річного віку здатні виконувати спільні проєктні роботи. Але про це трошки згодом. Щодо daily interactions. Дуже важливо вживати англійською мовою, звісно, ось той самий classroom language. І от давайте розглянемо ось такий приклад. Це урок values, на якому діти вчаться говорити please and thank you. І коли вони просять дати їм певну їжу.
Food. Values lesson. Listen and sing 2 little words.
Two little words for every day. Two little words, remember to say. Please, please, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Two little words for every day. Two little words, remember to say. Please, please, please. Thank you, thank you.
Це текст цієї пісні з скріншот з книги для вчителів. Ви бачите, що кожен рядок, він супроводжується певними рухами, тобто two little words, to remember, first, please, 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 thank you, thank you, thank you. І це лише два приклади, дві фрази з Classroom Language, з нашої щоденної взаємодії з нашими вихованцями, які я наводжу у якості прикладу. Потім трошечки згодом можна додавати can I have a something please. І коли ми даємо або інша дитина дає, тоді thank you, thank you, thank you. Ось така порада від авторки, saying please and thank you. Це дуже важлива ще частина соціально-емоційного навчання, і таку пісню також можна використовувати у якості classroom routine наряду з hello song and goodbye song. Ще, що стосується ось першого аспекту соціального розвитку дитини, соціалізації, це допомога через предмет англійська мова, через заняття англійською мовою вибудовувати міжособистісні стосунки. І давайте розглянемо, що допоможе нам організувати цих дітей 5-річного віку працювати разом. По-перше, це треба починати з самого початку. Тобто, чим раніше ви будете організовувати якусь спільну роботу, причому організовувати це епізодично, коротенько, але на кожному занятті, тим краще і тим швидше це стане нормальною частиною їхнього заняття англійською мовою, і не тільки англійською, бо далі вони це перенесуть на інші заняття, а потім вчителі, які візьмуть їх у першому класі, скажуть вам велике дякую. Зробіть ось цю спільну роботу більш практичною. Наприклад, якщо ви працюєте з книжками, покажіть їм, як покласти книжку посередині, і якщо це одна на двох, або якщо у кожного є своя книжка, щоб вони не перекривали одне одного. Тобто, як це робити? Це вже спільна робота, це вже вибудовування міжособистісних стосунків. Намагайтеся використовувати різні діяльності для парної роботи, наприклад, ігри в парах, пісні в парах і так далі. Намагайтеся змінювати пари, і якщо ви бачите, що у вас є більш такі активні учні і більш сором'язливі, то організовуйте в пару одного дуже активного учня, а іншого, щоб цей вихованець або вихованка були більш сором'язливими, бо саме такі активні і більш впевнені учні зможуть допомогти сором'язливим стати більш впевненими. Використовуєте ляльку як модель, тобто якщо треба дати якийсь зразок, яким чином працювати разом, то можна використати для цього ляльку і заохочуйте, щоб вони говорили, постійно повторюєте ось ці мотивуючі, позитивні і підтримуючі фрази на кшталт "Well done", "I believe in you", "I'm so proud of you", "You are doing great", and so on and so forth. Стосовно того, як ще, ось Аня говорила про self-esteem, який починає формуватися і грає дуже важливу роль у дошкільному віці, і у хлопців він триває аж до підліткового віку, то підтримка і заохочення зусилля, намагання щось зробити, також можна зробити через англійську мову, через ось таку пісню. У вас на екрані вона зараз буде, ми будемо слухати, і ви будете дивитися і на текст пісні, і на ті рухи, які рекомендовано виконувати під час прослуховування цієї пісні.
My body. Values lesson. Listen and sing, I can do it if I try.
I can do it if I try. Try, try. Yes, yes, yes. I. I can put on my coat. I can learn and play. I can put on my coat every day. I can do it if I try. Try, try. Yes, yes, yes. I. I can put on my shoes. I can learn and play. I can put on my shoes every day. I can do it if I try. Try, try. Yes, yes, yes.
Ось така пісня і все те, що ми робимо на занятті навколо цієї пісні, воно допомагає. Я переконана, що всі ви чули про таке поняття, як growth mindset. Тобто це установка, яку ми даємо будь-якій людині, не тільки 5-річній людині, а і молодшому школяру, і підлітку, і будь-кому з дорослих. Це така установка на зростання, завдяки якій людина вірить, що вона зможе виконати щось, досягти чогось, якщо вона докладе зусиль. Ось ця пісня, вона якраз початок закладання цього самого growth mindset. На відміну від fixed mindset, я думаю, що принаймні одну людину в своєму житті або в своєму оточенні ви таку знаєте, коли є фіксованість, я цього не зможу зробити, у мене не вийде, я навіть не буду намагатися. Тобто для того, щоб цього не відбулося з нашими вихованцями, варто будь-яке зусилля заохочувати і підтримувати. І знов-таки, якщо ви вивчите з своїми вихованцями цю пісню «I can do it if I try», то потім можна в певних ситуаціях нагадувати цю пісню «You can do it if you try». Yes, 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 ай-яй-яй. Ще один аспект, про який ми говоримо, це пісні та історії. І через пісні і історії ми можемо допомогти учням соціалізовуватися, тобто розвивати їхні соціальні навички, емоційні навички разом з мовою. Ось така пісня «Little Helper». І ми можемо через ігри, Аня про це говорила, я просто зараз це підсилю, ми через ігри можемо вчити дітей працювати разом, тобто соціалізовувати. Зараз ми з вами, я відкрию зараз час, щоб його бачити ваші відповіді, ми з вами зараз пограємо. Отже, перед вами ми вивчаємо види транспорту, і у нас є train, і у нас є bus. І я зараз їх сховаю і поставлю вам запитання. І почекаю ваші відповіді у чаті. Отже, все, я сховала. І are we going to travel by train today? І ваше завдання написати yes або no. Yes, yes, no, yes, no. Давайте перевіримо. No, we're not going to travel by train today. Let's try again. Я думаю, що ви зрозуміли ідею цієї гри. Я навмисно взяла лише дві флеш-картки на слайд, але краще буде в цю гру грати, наприклад, обирати з 3, а не з 2. Перетасували і знову закрили. We are going to travel by bus today. Yes or no? І вдвох в парі ми маємо обрати. Вирішити, домовитися між собою, обрати, перевернути yes або no і знову продовжувати грати. Ще один аспект всебічного розвитку дитини через англійську мову, через пісні – це action games і action songs. Це поєднання гри з піснею. І я вам скажу, що ця пісня, яка повністю побудована на TPR approach, вона є досить challenging. І це може зайняти у вас не одне заняття, перш ніж ми з нашими вихованцями навчимося координувати наші рухи. Я чесно намагалася координувати. Після 3-го руху у мене з координацією поганенько, зізнаюся. Давайте подивимося, що я маю на увазі.
One finger, one thumb, keep moving. One finger, one thumb, keep moving. One finger, one thumb, keep moving. We're all happy today. One finger, one thumb, one arm, keep moving. One finger, one thumb, one arm, keep moving. One finger, one thumb, one arm, keep moving. We're all happy today. One finger, one thumb, one
Це така кумулятивна пісня, коли кожного разу у нас повторюються всі попередні і додається ще один. Якщо ви відчуваєте, що для ваших діточок такий варіант може бути заскладним, а аналогом більш простим є гра Simon Says, в неї дуже просто грати на будь-яку тему. Просто саме ця пісня і цей варіант кумулятивної пісні з рухами, він розвиває пам'ять, її можливості обсягу пам'яті, тобто тримати в пам'яті більшу кількість інформації і координацію рухів, що для 5-річної дитини є досить важливим. Вони ще ось цю координацію розвивають. Навички дрібної моторики ми обов'язково маємо розвивати з дітьми 5-річного віку і продовжуємо їх розвивати вже коли вони пішли у перший клас 6-річного віку, але починаємо ми в 5 років, можливо, навіть трошки раніше, але ось саме такий tracing, cutting out, pressing out – це ті активності, які варто робити з вашими дітьми. Ось тут, наприклад, вони слухають традиційну історію, традиційну казку, слухають традиційну пісню, а потім, як calming down activity, вони виконують tracing activity. Їм треба на цій сторінці обвести цифри від 1 до 5 і обвести ось цих мавпенят. Я думаю, що ви здогадалися, що це варіація, ми подивилися про 5 каченят, які один за одним губилися, а тут 5 мавпенят, які губилися по одному, але фінал цієї історії також є дуже щасливим, бо алігатор їх всіх випустив і ніхто не постраждав. Так само, якщо у тих матеріалах, з якими ви працюєте, є стікери і передбачена робота зі стікерами, така робота також є прикладом розвитку дрібної моторики дітей, тобто sticker activities, tracing activities, coloring activities, cutting activities – це все допомагає розвитку дрібної моторики дітей. Нарізала вам кілька прикладів. Тут, окрім дрібної моторики, тут є ще і окрім coloring, тут ще додаються когнітивні навички учнів, когнітивні здібності. Тут розвиток когнітивних здібностей тут додається, бо тут треба, ви бачите, довести до правильного одягу 3 персонажів. Тобто тут треба не просто розфарбувати, а ще й співставити, чий одяг кому належить. І ми переходимо до thinking skills. Таке риторичне запитання, ось коли ми працюємо з дошкільнятами, як ми маємо докази, як ми розуміємо, що в них відбувається процес мислення. Причому я кажу не тільки якісь прості, тобто lower order thinking skills, а в принципі, ось як ми зрозуміємо, що вони думають, в них відбувається цей розумовий процес. Перша ознака, що це відбувається, це ті запитання, які вони ставлять. Якщо ви є мамами, і молодими мамами, немолодими мамами, тоді ми можемо пригадати своїх дітей, ось коли вони почали розмовляти, ми почали з ними пізнавати навколишній світ, це ж 100-500 тисяч чому, питань чому. Щойно дитина ставить питання, а чому небо блакитне, а чому птахи літають, а чому вода тече з крану, ось будь-яке чому є підтвердженням того, що ця дитина когнітивно розвивається. Типи мислення, які ми можемо розвивати через англійську мову на наших заняттях, ви бачите зараз на екранах. Це далеко не весь перелік, але це найчастіші завдання, найчастіші активності, в книжках для дошкільнят з англійської мови, які допоможуть розвинути ці типи мислення. Це порівняння або зіставлення, і ми зараз побачимо приклад. Це послідовність. Аня говорила, що, наприклад, коли у нас є picture story, то ми можемо одне з завдань дати розставити події в тому порядку, в якому вони з'являлися у тій послідовності, в якому вони з'являлися у аудіо або у відео, яке ви дивилися. Це спостереження і відстеження і розуміння, що щось відбувається за певною схемою. Наприклад, у цих шкарпеток 3 крапочки, у всіх цих шкарпеток 3 крапочки, або іде шкарпетка з однією крапочкою, з 2, з 3, ось такий є паттерн. Далі, це запам'ятовування, це сортування або класифікація. Наприклад, розсортуйте в 2 групи, сюди ми покладемо овочі, а сюди ми покладемо фрукти, якщо ми, наприклад, вивчаємо тему їжа. Це оцінювання, це вже навичка вищого порядку, і це створення, creating. І давайте трошечки... У нас буде з вами інтерактива. Ось така вправа, на якій ми, звісно, вивчаємо мову. І у вас є 3 варіанти, який тип thinking skills розвиває ця вправа. Варіант номер 1 – це у нас patterning, тобто знаходження певних закономірностей, це порівняння або це послідовність. Яка це? Так, номер 2. Дійсно, це порівняння, точніше, тут навіть це не порівняння, тут все ж таки contrasting, тобто знайди відмінності, знайди 5 відмінностей або знайди 10 відмінностей. Це просте, на перший погляд, і типове завдання «найди 5 відмінностей», але таке завдання включає набагато більше, ніж здається нам на перший погляд. Бо здатність бачити спільні і відмінні риси, потім у подальшому житті, у подальшому розвитку, у подальшому навчанні 5-річної дитини буде сприяти прийняттю рішень, вирішенню проблем. Ця навичка порівнювати і протиставляти дуже допоможе грамотності на тому етапі, коли ми будемо вчитися читати і писати англійською мовою. Такий самий простий приклад, який спадає на думку, це бачити різницю між літерою B маленькою і літерою D. Ті, хто працює з малечою, ви знаєте, що це суцільна катастрофа, як вони досить довго плутають B і D, бо вони дуже схожі. І якщо ми навчили їх в дошкільному віці бачити відмінності, то або такої проблеми в принципі не виникне, або вона дуже швидко буде вирішена. Ще один приклад. Ось таке завдання. Тема clothes, одяг, і що це за thinking skills на цьому занятті нам знадобиться. Це запам'ятовування, memorizing, це сортування або це послідовність. Що це буде за навичка мислення на даному занятті? Так, бачу ваші двічки. Це сортування, класифікація. І у мене для вас є 2 ідеї. До речі, розвинена добре навичка мислення сортувати і класифікувати в подальшому буде сприяти процесу запам'ятовування лексики, граматичних структур, фактів. Потім вони стануть ще старшими, коли треба буде запам'ятовувати інформацію з прочитаних текстів або з прослуханих якихось фрагментів. Тобто ми закладаємо ось це уміння добре запам'ятовувати через такі вправи, коли треба щось розсортувати або класифікувати. І такі дві ідеї для гри. Наприклад, гра hot or cold. Тобто у нас hot – це коли тепло, cold – це коли прохолодне. І ви показуєте item, і діти мають сказати hot or cold. В даному випадку я показую на gloves, і діти мають сказати cold. А тут я показую на shirt, t-shirt, і вони мають сказати hot. Така дуже-дуже проста гра, з нею можна гратися прямо на сторінці підручника, можна з нею гратися через флеш-картки, а можна гратися через реальні предмети одягу. І друга гра якраз краще буде з реальними предметами одягу, хоча можна, якщо дуже шкода реального одягу, то можна і з флеш-картками, коли ви розкладаєте флеш-картки, звісно, це мають бути ті предмети, назви яких ви вже вивчили, і просите дітей розсортувати на ті, коли ми носимо влітку, і ті, які ми носимо взимку. І ще одне запитання для вас. А ось таке завдання. Ви бачите, що тут є слово project, і щось вони тут ліплять, і щось вони тут, напевно, розфарбовують. Ще поки що не знаю, збережу інтригу. Що це за навичка мислення у нас тут? У нас тут patterning, у нас тут memorizing or creating. Так, у нас тут дійсно creating – це найвища, якщо пригадаємо таксономію Блума, це найвища навичка мислення, вона прям на горі. Але розкрию інтригу. Ось, пані Ольга, я вам дуже дякую, ви задумалися. І ви абсолютно праві, бо через саме таку активність ми не тільки creating, як thinking skills, розвиваємо. Наприклад, ми через цю активність, через виконання ось цієї проєктної роботи ми розвиваємо і аналіз, бо тут треба застосувати цю навичку, так, пані Людмила, і memorizing, і remembering. Їм треба пригадати і запам'ятати, що за чим ми робимо, запам'ятати послідовність і пригадати ті слова, які ми вивчали протягом цілої низки наших занять. В даному випадку це продукти харчування. Тобто вони мають різні варіанти можуть бути, може ви як вчитель це вимовляєте, показуючи флеш-картки, може аудіо якесь ви вмикаєте і вони показують на флеш-картках або в книжках, що вони чують, тобто це навичка remembering, thinking skills. Далі, розуміння, тут understanding також задіяно, бо оскільки це проєктна робота, діти мають розуміти інструкції, що ми робимо і яка послідовність, і тут ще й sequencing додається. І далі тут є ще одна навичка, але вона буде після того, як задіяна після того, як завершилося виконання проєктної роботи, а саме навичка evaluating, thinking skill, я маю на увазі, навичка мислення. А саме, коли ми завершили виконання своїх проєктних робіт, ми їх демонструємо, і далі треба дати оцінювальне судження проєктній роботі, тобто творінню інших своїх одногрупників, інших дітей. І далі ви, як їхній вчитель, підсумовуєте цю роботу, що ми зараз з вами змогли створити неймовірну виставку ось таких робіт, і якби не внесок кожного з вас, то цієї шикарної виставки у нас би не вийшло. Для того, щоб все ж таки не було конкуренції або знецінювання чиєїсь роботи. Яким чином ми працюємо над цією проєктною роботою, а це, зауважу, це спільна робота, тобто тут навички соціалізації також задіяні. Це все дуже детально прописано в книзі для вчителя. Ви зараз скріншот бачите на екрані. Є певний початок, є всі opening routines, є closing routines, тобто hello song, якісь певні активності нам треба повторити лексику, тобто знову і знову і знову. І у нас є інструкції, ми даємо дітям ці інструкції, ми демонструємо, яким чином ми будемо робити, що ми будемо робити. У нас є робота зі збором матеріалів, бо, наприклад, у вчителя є templates, template of this plate, які вчителька роздає кожній групі дітей. Нам потрібна глина, або пластилін, нам потрібні олівці кольорові, або щось на кшталт цього, або, можливо, фарби, якщо ви захочете. Ну, тобто ціла низка нам матеріалів потрібно. Ми маємо ці матеріали підготувати і зібрати в одному місці. І, звісно, все це відбувається англійською мовою, коли we need crayons. We need Play-Doh or clay. We need paints and so on and so forth. Тобто ми постійно повторюємо лексичні одиниці, а не просто давайте зібрали. У нас, у вчителя є порада, яким чином вона спостерігає за процесом створення проєктної роботи. У нас є follow-up, у нас є поради рефлексії. І тут є у нас дуже гарна нагода навчити чогось, що виходить за межі теми їжа, якій присвячено цю проєктну роботу. А саме ми можемо навчити функціональній мові, яка, в свою чергу, є частиною всебічного розвитку дитини. І, наприклад, ви можете поставити запитання «What can we say if we need help?» Can you help me, please? Навчити цієї фрази. What can we say if we want to help our friend? Can I help you? What can we say if we like our friend's drawing or project or play or whatever? I like your drawing. That's beautiful. Тобто цього всього ми можемо навчити, а навчені ці фрази, вони якраз і сприяють і є частиною всебічного розвитку дитини. І останній аспект всебічного розвитку дитини, незважаючи на те, що йдеться про англійську мову, але language development в даному випадку є останнім аспектом. Ми мову розвиваємо, звісно, на кожному уроці, але я хочу продемонструвати вам language development через історію. Через історію, ось ця історія, яку ми зараз з вами подивимося, причому зауважу, що тут можливі кілька варіантів. Можна прослухати, тільки прослухати, можна подивитися, ви можете самі розповідати цю історію через story cards, бо story cards, вони виглядають таким чином, що епізод з одного боку, а на іншому боці текст, який ви маєте озвучити. Але задля економії часу на нашій зустрічі ми будемо дивитися відео. Отже, історія має назву «Let's go by bike». І ми на цих фрагментах, на цих 6 епізодах ми бачимо родину, мама, тато, їхні 2 дітей, братик та сестричка, і вони ось з велосипедами, вони кудись збираються, вони їдуть до бабусі і дідуся, але щось пішло не так з велосипедами. Отже, давайте подивимось.
Mummy, Daddy, Mimi and Dylan are going to Grandma and Grandpa's house.
Oh, great! I love Grandma and Grandpa. Let's go by bike.
Oh, yes, please. I want to go by bike too.
Come on then. Let's go by bike.
Hooray! Thank you.
Oh dear, it's raining.
We can't go by bike.
Oh no! I've got an idea. Let's go by car.
Oh, yes, please. I want to go by car too.
Come on then, let's go by car.
Hooray! Thank you.
Oh dear. Look at the wheel.
We can't go by car.
Oh no! I've got an idea. Let's go by train.
Oh, yes, please. I want to go by train too.
Come on then. Let's go by train.
Hooray! Thank you.
Oh dear, the train is full.
We can't go by train.
Come on then, let's go home.
Oh no! I want to go to Grandma and Grandpa's house.
Me too. Please, Mummy. Please, Daddy.
No, sorry. We can't go to Grandma and Grandpa's house today. Let's go home.
Oh, look! Here's Mrs. Cat and the school bus.
I've got an idea. Let's go by bus. Hello, Mrs. Cat.
Hello, Mimi. Hello, Dylan. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Meerkat. Hop on.
У мене до вас є запитання. Я не можу вас без завдання залишити аж ніяк. Не просто ми все ж таки не 5-річні діти, щоб просто насолоджуватися історією. Запитання у мене ось яке. Оскільки ми зараз говоримо про language development, про цей аспект всебічного розвитку дитини, яку мову ви почули в цій історії, повторювану мову, якої ми навмисно не навчаємо, але діти її запам'ятають через постійне багаторазове повторення? Які фрази, ось ці готові chunks of language ви почули і запам'ятали? Які точно let's go by. Перша, yes, thank you, Катерина. Oh no, yes, let's go by. Отже, oh no, так. Oh dear, me too, супер, супер. We can't go by, I've got an idea, thank you very much. Ви назвали мені усі ті фрази, які мимовільно через цю історію, через роботу з цією історією діти запам'ятають. Тобто ми не будемо спеціально вчити ці фрази, але через те, що вони постійно повторюються в цій історії. Me too, yes, please. Let's go by... I've got an idea. Я так трошечки ліричний відступ. Я проводила в одній з київських шкіл демо-урок ще в абсолютно інші доковідні часи. І урок був присвячений темі члени родини, тобто основна мета була вивчити назви членів родини. А за фактом, окрім членів родини, діти запам'ятали, причому запам'ятали на все життя «Can you show me your finger, please?» Ось цю фразу, яку я дуже багато разів повторила під час заняття, вони її запам'ятали. І далі мені просто потім вчителі розповіли, що «Can you show me your finger, please?» – це та фраза, з якою вони прийшли наступного дня на урок. І це є просто одним з підтверджень того, що коли багато чого діти чують повторюваного, а ми спеціально навмисно цього не навчаємо, вони все одно це запам'ятають. І така історія є, дає можливість перейти до роботи над піснею і над певними цінностями. Тобто ми переносимо зміст історії у пісню з рухами, яка базується на змісті історії.
I want to go by bike, by bike. Oh yes, please, me too.
Come on then, let's go by bike.
I want to go with you. I want to go by car.
Тобто ось ці language chunks, які були в історії, вони плавно перенеслися і у пісню, а пісня – це вже наступне заняття. І таким чином ще й через пісню вони також закріпилися у пам'яті. І ось це me too, і let's go by, and so on. Тобто все те, що ви назвали, вони все є у цій пісні, але перед цим вони це чули в історії, зараз вони теж саме чують в пісні, таким чином ще краще закріплюючи у своїй пам'яті. І у мене таке перевірочне перед фіналом нашої зустрічі для вас запитання. Два їх буде приклади. Отже, давайте подивимося на це заняття. І напишіть, будь ласка, в чаті, як це заняття допомагає whole child development. Що саме на цьому занятті допоможе всебічному розвиткові дитини? Чекаю на ваші відповіді у чаті. Що саме допоможе, які активності допоможуть на цьому занятті всебічному розвиткові дитині? Sorting, так, тобто cognitive development. Угу. Life situation, talking about yourself, тобто певний психологічний розвиток, бо їм треба висловитися, і тут же емоційний розвиток іде, бо їм треба визначитися і оголосити вголос, що їм подобається і що їм не подобається. У нас тут буде creativity, тобто з cognitive development повністю з вами згодна. Буде когнітивний розвиток. А чи буде тут фізичний розвиток? Чи будуть тут language development, то зрозуміло. А фізичний розвиток у нас тут буде? Так, звісно, вони будуть малювати, а це означає, що буде і фізичний розвиток. І таким чином дуже проста, на перший погляд, активність, дуже просте заняття, яке за своєю сутністю, це color and say, взагалі-то активність, але за ось таким, на перший погляд, простим завданням color and say ми можемо побачити цілу купу речей, які сприятимуть всебічному розвиткові дитини, починаючи з мовного розвитку і завершуючи творчим та когнітивним розвитком дитини. І ще одне завдання перевірочне. Ось таке завдання, ось такий урок на тему Daily Routines, 1, 2, 3, 4, якісь фотографії, яким чином завдання на цьому уроці можуть сприяти всебічному розвиткові дитини. Так, matching. Угу. Тут sequencing, тобто у нас буде cognitive development. Угу. Можна зробити, до речі, сортування, можна як додаткову активність зробити сортування, але перший cognitive skill, який буде тут розвиватися, це sequencing, послідовність дій. Тобто, що за чим ми робимо, коли ми миємо руки. Чи буде тут розвиватися дитина соціально? Чи буде тут якась соціалізація, як ви думаєте? Ну так, звісно, бо йдеться про особисту гігієну. Чи буде тут якийсь якийсь емоційний розвиток? Так, буде, бо ми маємо допомогти, тобто це, звісно, робота батьків, але через предмет англійська мова ми можемо долучитися до того, щоб діти емоційно розуміли важливість і користь того, щоб мити свої руки перед, наприклад, їжею або після відвідування вбиральні. Фізичний розвиток буде, точно буде, бо вони будуть писати, вони будуть вести, буде дрібна моторика. Когнітивний буде, ми вже визначилися, ну і мовний, звісно, також ми визначилися. В курсі, з якого я наводила приклади, це курс Mimi's Will, взагалі досить багато уваги приділяється і розвиткові дрібної моторики, починаючи з того, як виглядає сам підручник. Ви можете побачити, що перегортати діти його будуть не так, як ми звикли справа наліво, а вони будуть знизу догори перегортати. Для чого? Бо є діти, які пишуть правою рукою, в них найактивніша і робоча права рука, а є ті, хто є шульгою. І для того, щоб тим, хто є шульга, було також зручно, і вони могли також максимально брати участь у table time activities or book activities, якраз ось такий нюанс також продуманий. Отже, усі ті активності, які ми сьогодні розглянули, і пісні, і історії, і ігри з флеш-картками, і ігри рухливі, і tracing, coloring, cutting, sticking, всі вони допомагають нам не просто навчати іноземній мові, а вони допомагають розвивати всебічно кожну дитину, кожного нашого вихованця. Всі приклади були з курсу Mimi's Will нашого видавництва, де тематика релевантна інтересам і реалістична для дітей дошкільного віку. У вчителя є абсолютно все для того, щоб легко проводити свої заняття. Якщо у вас є питання, я залюбки на них відповім. Якщо питань не буде, то я хочу подякувати вам усім за вашу неймовірну участь, за ваш зворотний зв'язок у чаті, за ті сердечки, які я бачу періодично, які вспливають у мене на екрані. Нагадаю, що протягом 5 робочих днів, тобто протягом цього тижня, на свої електронні адреси після нього йде курс Academy Stars. Тобто Мімі ми завершили і легко переходимо на курс Academy Stars. Сертифікати, відеозапис і подарунок від Ані у вигляді 2 пісень Hello and Goodbye ви на свої електронні адреси отримаєте протягом цього робочого тижня. Це не відбудеться прямо сьогодні, але де пізніше п'ятниці це у вас буде на електронній пошті. Якщо ви працюєте не тільки з дошкільнятами, то ми з вами побачимося, напевно, завтра у Primary Learners Day. Ще раз вам величезна подяка за вашу участь. зі мною сьогодні, зі мною і з Анею, і до наступних наших зустрічей. Безпечного